is Phoenix Mass, and today we are going to be talking about art fights. Specifically, what is art fight, a few tips I had learned, and also, this video is for people who have not heard of it yet. And if you have, I do have an announcement to share, a challenge even, at the end of this video. So go ahead and check the timestamps below and check that out. Thank you. So what is art fight? It's an event where artists draw for other artists. That boils it down pretty simply, right? Once the themes are revealed, players are typically randomly assigned, though as of 2022 and now 2023, on the website itself, you'll be able to pre-register for which team you'd like to be a part of, all the way up until the first day of art fight begins. So, if you happen to catch this video or the announcement early, you'll be able to choose your own team. If not, you will be randomly sorted. So, what is the goal of art fight? Well, basically, you're trying to accumulate as much points as possible for your team by the end of July. You do it by attacking, which is basically when you draw other people's OCs, Sonas, and so on. On the flip side, for the artists who just received this masterpiece of a work, they can decide to perform a revenge attack, which they draw a character from their attacker, or they can pay it forward by attacking someone on the opposite team. But wait, that's not all. Is attacking a person from the same team allowed? The answer is yes. They call it friendly fire, and yes, you will earn points still, just not as much. It wasn't always like this, however, as back in the day, people used to not earn any points at all, so I guess that's a win for everyone, right? As you can tell from that fact alone, all attacks aren't made equal. And that's especially the case when it comes to art fight's point system. You will always earn points for submissions, though if you put in the extra work, you'll of course in turn see the points go up. Go ahead and pause and check it out for yourself. Note that if there's ever any hesitancy regarding how much your work might count for, Art Fight has a number of guides with clear examples that'll help you figure it out. On the topic of getting as much points as you can also perform mass attacks, which is basically when you draw multiple characters, all the way up to 100. This, of course, even includes just drawing 2 or 3 characters for an illustration rather than just one. By the end of July, the team with the most points will win, though, really, isn't the real winner the artist friends we made along the way? Moving on. What do you need to prepare? Before we get on to real stars of the show, I'd like to just get on with creating an actual account on the website. Now, when you're first signing up, you're going to need an account profile picture and a thumbnail. So, for the last minute preppers or people of the future, I know you're there, I know you're watching. Make sure to scale and create images that can fit within 100 by 100 or 200 by 200 in dimensions. This has to be exact, otherwise it's not going to work, so pull up an image resizer and get it in there. Another feature you'll be able to see is literally, of course, a classic profile. You can customize it to your heart's content, and I'd recommend even looking at other people's profiles for some inspiration on the things you can do. The amount of information you include is up to you, but depending on the time crunch you're on, I could imagine you can go without all the flair. If anything, however, I'd suggest you include your plan for art fight. Is there a specific challenge you're doing for yourself? Will you do friendly fire? How do you prioritize attacks? In addition to this, it's nice to be clear regarding how sharing works too. Some people wish to keep their OCs privates, while others just ask to add to them. I know for me, for example, I plan on sharing the art I do on platforms like Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. So, I definitely want to confirm with people. The faster I can know these things, the faster I can do art for other people, basically. So, keep that kind of stuff in mind for what will make the other person's job way easier in determining, hey, how how can I interact with this person? How can I draw their art? And so on. Now, after setting up your profile and account and all of that, the last thing, and perhaps the most important, the characters. This part is pretty straightforward, but it's very helpful to have the character sheet in advance with any essential information that you'd like an artist to know about. I've looked through a lot of character profiles, and the information that's included is pretty varied. Some people would just include images, others would write paragraphs upon paragraphs of text on any and all things such as lore or notes on what they would and wouldn't like drawn. In the end, how specific you get is up to you. For me, I'd say include enough that would spark the imagination, but not too much to overwhelm someone. But even then, I'm sure some people would love seeing others go the extra mile. Now, that might be it for the tangible things, though I got one more thing for you. It's time. I'm sure many of you are aware of the general busyness that comes around, though I feel it's just about managing expectations on what you hope to get out of the event. This here is relevant to really anyone, newbie or not. Are you looking to make other art friends through this, to be involved in a community? Are you trying to improve your own art and challenge yourself to draw new things? Do you have goals like drawing a character a day, for example, or doing X amount of attacks or revenge attacks? When you know the answer to these kinds of questions, it becomes a lot easier to figure out things that need to give way, basically. Assessing how much time you should set aside and how casual or competitive you hope to be. In the end, I think art fight can be a lot of different things to different people, and regardless of how much you intend to be involved, the fact of the matter is that it's always just nice making other people feel good and seeing artwork for your own original creations. And I just wanted to share a few random bits of information before we conclude this section. Now, if you're having a hard time finding people to draw, one thing I suggest is using the tag search feature, in which you can look up specific keywords, some which are already on display, and filter through to find characters that way. Apparently, there had used to be a search feature where you could find other artists too, though upon investigation, it looks like you'll have to donate $5 to Art Fights if you would like access to that feature. Now, what's the announcement, Phoenix? Well, it's that I'm doing Art Fight, man! And you're doing Art Fight, and do you know what this means? This means that we could be doing art together! We could be doing violence against each other! We could be attacking each other! And supporting each other! If any of this sounds of interest to you, I would love if you would subscribe and click the notification button to be notified when I go live. I plan on streaming as much as I can for the month of July, and in addition to that, I also would love to invite you to my Discord server, where I hope we can form a little art community for people to find each other for Art Fight as well. Or just to meet some other people who enjoy my videos, I suppose. Thank you again for sticking to the end of this video, and yeah, until next time.